All right, what's up, everybody? So I guess I've kind of dressed for the occasion here, but yeah, that's the thing, man. This is it. I know it's only been 9 episodes, maybe, but it still, to me, kind of feels like a journey is coming to an end here with these Squid Game reactions. I cannot stress out enough how thoroughly I've enjoyed watching this show and reacting to it. Yeah, and just doing this series for you all. Like, that's the thing. I'm still relatively new to reacting in the first place. I started off with Attack on Titan, obviously, and now I added Squid Game on top of that. The views so far haven't even been that great whatsoever, but I know that's kind of, that's how it goes. Especially already, I knew in advance that, like, oh, this show has kind of had its prime when it was a big hype, and I think that was like back in maybe October or September or something. And now when I'm recording this, it's January. It's like, yeah, those days are fast, and obviously I was prepared for the fact that like not that many people were going to be watching these, but still, I've had such a blast reacting to them, and I want to first and foremost thank those of you who have been here for the ride with me. Really, really appreciate it. Also, just getting your enthusiastic comments, helpful comments sometimes as well to kind of clue me in on a couple of things that I might have missed out. It's all very much appreciated, and that's the thing. I don't really know what to expect from this final episode. It's called One Lucky Day, which I guess is quite an interesting title because might kind of I would think it refers to the main character Gian, right? Who or Gian. I'm still not sure how to pronounce it, but 9 episodes in, guys. But it might refer to the fact that he might end up getting lucky here, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. Like, I'm not in any way trying to have other people shape my expectations. I just know that there have been some people that I've spoken to who told me about this show, who said they really liked the show, but some of them were a little bit mixed on the ending. I also had some people I know that found it good. So again, like, I don't really know what to expect there, and I'm just going to form my own opinions about it. That's all that I really know going into it. I also don't know if they're going to conclude the storyline here, at least for our main character, right? Or if they're just going to pick back up on it with a second season. I feel like they probably will do a second season for this just because of how much of a success it's been. But then again, I wonder if this is kind of its own standalone thing, and if a second season is going to have a whole new cast of characters again, or if this main character, who we've definitely consistently been following throughout the show, even though all the other characters we follow obviously died, but like if they're going to actually still expand on him in the future. Again, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what I would personally want either. I would be completely fine with this being a standalone thing. I can also see, once again, that, like, there were a couple of things I wanted to learn about him more, like his backstory and stuff like that. Like, I could still see that possibly being done in the future. But again, I don't really know how it's all going to end here. All that we really know is just, like, what the current situation is. Where our main guy and Sang-woo are basically left, right? His classmate. Yeah, and that's it. His classmate obviously has gone completely relentless. He killed the girl there at the end of the last episode, and that, once again, such an impactful moment. The music that played there as well. I checked it back through the edit, and I'm like just enjoying this scene over and over and over, just how well it's done, honestly. In that moment, I felt such kind of shock. You could tell by the way I was just like kind of screaming at the screen, literally. It's like, yeah, dude, it was just impactful to me. And I guess there are still quite a few questions, in all honesty, about the show itself. And obviously we've now found out that the cop guy's brother was in fact the front man. So are they going to wrap that up and kind of explain it, what the whole deal with that is? Again, like that's just the thing. It's like, I can kind of, yeah, I would like to have everything kind of explained in this episode, but I kind of feel like only half of it might be. You know what I mean? Like, I could still see them leaving some of it open or something to in some way tackle in a future season or something like that. And again, whether that will be with different characters altogether or with still our main guy being involved in some way. That's the thing as well. We know that, for example, the frontman was the winner of a previous edition, right? 2015. So what if our guy wins this now and he somehow becomes involved with these games? That's another way that it could obviously end. But again, I have no idea what to expect. And I'm just going in with no expectations in the first place. And also, no, I don't want to make my mind up about it in the first place and kind of think about what I should be expecting, if that makes sense. I just want to kind of dive in yeah, and then make my mind up about it once we've actually finished it. So once again, for now, I want to quickly say that, I just want to thank you all for being here on the ride with me. I hope that you've really enjoyed these reactions. I've definitely enjoyed doing them, and I cannot wait to get into this final episode here now. My full-length reactions, of course, will remain up on Patreon, so if you still would at any point want to actually watch those, to see how I reacted to the show, literally from start to finish, they will always be up there. For you to check out should you want to. We also, of course, on Patreon have a nice little community that you can join. And that way, there will be other people there who've seen Squid Game and stuff. And again, like, I don't know if there's really a future for the show, but I feel like I've heard about it that it will. So then I'm sure that we will at some point come back in the future and we'll actually do the same for a next season, if that's the case, right? So, nonetheless, that's basically all that I can really say. For now, let's just actually dive into it. So, very excited to be getting into this last episode of Squid Game called One Lucky Day. Back to the Squid Games. Or Squid Game. That's one thing that I didn't mention in my intro. I kind of wonder whether the classmate is gonna in some way still get a moment of redemption. I don't see it happening because I feel like he's gone completely off the deep end and there's nothing pulling him back. Especially not now anymore, but I really wonder how they're gonna wrap it up.
공격. 456번 공격. 218번 수비.
Oh, he is completely done with him too, by the way, and makes a lot of sense why. Oh, we're back here. Wasn't this where they had the first game?
마지막 6번째 게임은 오징어 게임입니다.
Wow, obviously. Oh, they're still here.
What an odd name.
Among all the games that kids played back then, it was the most physical and violent.
So any kind of violence is allowed?
Sure, there are no restrictions.
Oh god. It really just seems like Gian is going in here with one goal. And that is just to beat the shit out of him. He doesn't give a crap anymore, dude. It's so weird to see.
우리 어릴 때 이거 많이 했지. 기억나? 여기 지나면 뭐라고 했는지? 쓸데없는 소리 하지 말고.
Oh shit. It's crazy how we've just gotten into it immediately. It's raining. I'm guessing a roof was too expensive or something for this arena.
어차피 죽을 애였어. 고통을 빨리 끝내준 것뿐이야. 함부로 짓거리지 마. 그 돈, 난 절대 여기서 가지고 못 나가.
Man, I find it genuinely somewhat just tragic to see all this. I'm not gonna lie. I just kind of wonder where this episode is even gonna reach its climax, because it's gonna be an hour long, but here we are already, seemingly with the final confrontation. Jesus Christ, man, this is rough.
우리 되돌리기 너무 멀리 왔어.
Oh man, right through his hand. God damn, dude, this is so tragic.
네가 죽인 거잖아. 다 네가 죽였어.
I really thought he had done it there, in all honesty.
우리 두 사람이 포기.
Oh.
여기서 끝나는 거야.
Yeah, what is he gonna say now?
456 wants to stop the game.
He's giving up the prize money. Right here at the very edge of victory.
Hell yeah, fuck you guys.
Fucking way. 집에 가자. 형. 미안해.
Oh, man. Why would you do that, man?
상우야. 우리 엄마. 말은 안 돼. 상우야 안 돼. 안 돼.
I do wonder what made him actually do that though. Was it just like out of regret or... I'm guessing it was just out of regret. I mean, it could kind of be shame. It could be... Like, it could be shame as in not wanting to go back anymore.
우승 축하합니다.
But yeah, we have freaking 40 minutes left, dude, for this episode.
그냥 꿈을 꿨다고 생각해. 당신한텐 그렇게 나쁜 꿈도 아니었잖아.
누구야 너?
I mean, it kind of was. Just because he won does not mean that this is not a bad dream.
누구야 너?
Don't tell me they're just gonna put him back now.
누구야?
They really just dropped him off like that? Well, they did do that last time, but I mean, they did it right in public here now. Last time it was just in some, like, dark place, I remember. Oh, wow. Don't tell me that's for, like, where they put the money for him. You gotta be shitting me, dude. What would the pin be? Oh, his number. 456. Okay, with a 0 in front of it. This is crazy. Wow. Oh, that's the mom. I still wonder what he wanted. Like, did he want him to say anything to his mom, or what did he want it exactly?
저 요즘 상우랑 연락한 적 없지? 아니다.
This whole thing is so sad. Where is all this gonna go now? Like, what's he gonna do with this money? Is he even gonna use it in any way? How is he gonna get over this? And surely, I still don't believe that this is really... Like, the games will come back for him. In some way.
엄마. 나왔어.
Dude, don't tell me that the mom in this time literally died or something, or what?
엄마.
Oh man,
엄마 자?
that does not seem like she's asleep.
엄마. 엄마 나왔어.
You gotta be kidding me, dude. Do not throw this on top of it now too.
눈 좀 떠봐.
Fucking hell, man. What? This is just, I don't know. Holy shit, a year later. My man looking like he came right out of Ghost of Tsushima.
저희 은행에 돈을 예치하신 지 꽤 오래되셨는데 아직 아무런 말씀이 없으셔가지고요.
He hasn't used any of it. Yeah, I don't think he's ever using a single one, as it's called, with that from that game, from those games.
저기요.
I wonder what he did with the 10,000 that he got from the ATM. Probably throw it away.
이거 오늘 못 팔면은요 다 시들어 버려서요.
Do not tell me this was a setup and it's coming from the... Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me, dude. You've got to be fucking kidding me. From your Ganbu? That's the old guy. What is this about? Surely that's not him. What the fuck is happening, dude?
물 좀 주겠나?
Maybe it was a bad dream.
부탁이네.
왜 그런 짓을 한 거예요?
Was he the host or what?
대답해! 왜 그런 짓을 했어? 왜 날 살려준 거야?
나랑 게임 한 번 더 하지. 자정까지 저 사람이 그대로 있으면 내가 누군가 저 사람을 도와주면 자네가 이기는 거야.
He is not in the mood for games.
당장 죽여버릴 수도 있어.
그러면 자네는 영영 대답을 못 들었는데.
I can't believe where this just went.
질문에 답을 해주겠네.
Well, yeah, the old guy was the only one who was killed off screen. I remember that. He literally walked away while it happened. Don't tell me he was like actually the host after all. I mean, he was literally player one as well, wasn't he? Yeah, that surely that was for a reason. That's crazy. Is he helping him? Oh, don't tell me he's actually stealing from him or something. Oh no, I think he is helping him.
왜 그런 짓을 한 거지?
자네 돈이 하나도 없는 사람과 돈이 너무 많은 사람의 공통점이 뭔 줄 아나? 사는 게 재미가 없다는 거야.
재미로 그런 짓을
To have fun.
시켰다고?
자네가 잊은 것 같고 나는 아무에게도 게임을 강요한 적이 없어. 자네도
Yeah, they all chose themselves.
제발로 다시 돌아오지 않았나?
Very interesting, like, philosophical questions being raised, though. I want to get more into these, like, in the outro, maybe, for the video.
이젠 다 했나 보군. 그렇게 재밌었던 거. 정말
Oh wow. I guess that guy called for help. Oh yeah, that is him. Just in time. But I'm assuming our guy is dead here.
당신도 봤지? 당신이 졌어.
The guy who... Wait, what?
자네가 손님들을 맡아주게.
왜 그러시는지 여쭤봐도 되겠습니까?
보는 것이 하는 것보다 더 재미있을 수가 없지.
Oh wow, he was the one for that mask.
짧게 확 자르실까? 아니 뭐 기르실 거면은 파마해 드릴까?
Anything will do, I guess. Really? Oh man.
우리 누나 알아요?
아저씨, 누나 친구야.
그럼 우리 누나 어디 있는지 알아요?
Of course.
얘가 걔야?
That's really nice, actually, how they're still connecting now these storylines for the other characters.
그냥 내 밥숟가락 하나 더 얹으면 돼.
How he's bringing them all together.
걱정하지 말고 잘 다녀와.
I still don't know why I went for the red hair, though, but wouldn't have been my personal choice, but... Holy shit. Oh wow. Yeah, that's nice actually.
그럼 우리 가영이 선물도 샀지. 안 돼, 비밀이야.
I'm guessing his daughter is coming back.
줄게.
Wasn't it at like the train, the airport, the train station? I think it was the train station where he literally like
도착하면 다시 전화할게.
found the guy, came across the guy for the games. What is he seeing? Oh, it's literally them. Oh no, he's gonna tell that guy to get the fuck out. Oh my god, this guy. That smirk. Wow. Seriously?
당신 뭐 하는 거예요? 그건 되나요? 안 돼. 절대로.
What is he gonna do with this? This is an absolutely crazy finale, honestly. I just totally did not see the direction this was going in here, and I love it. Every scene is a new surprise, literally.
게임에 참가를 원하십니까? 참가를 원하시면 기어의 이름과 생년월일을 말씀해 주세요.
성기훈
456번. 허튼 생각하지 마.
그래서 난 용서가 안 돼. 너희들이 하는 짓.
그 비행기를 타. 그게 당신한테 좋을 거야.
Oh god, is he gonna take them on? I'm guessing there is a season 2. Awesome, man. Fucking awesome. Yeah, dude, I loved it. Yeah, I thought that was absolutely fantastic. Once again, I find it a little bit strange now almost in retrospect to think about the fact that I had some people tell me that they were a little bit mixed on the ending, because I absolutely loved the way they wrapped this up. I loved just this episode in general and how it reminds me very much of those first 2 episodes, which was surprising to me in the way that they weren't what I expected from the show itself, right? In the beginning, I had kind of thought that the show itself would be about the games. And then the first 2 episodes, of course, you'll remember in that first episode, we really delved into this character, Gian, right? And his situation, his the way he would deal with money, if that makes sense, and the way he was always so dependent on other people, and I thought that was fascinating, and I wanted to see more of his backstory and how he became that way. I remember asking for that back then. And then in the second episodes, once we had the first game behind us, they all voted to quit and they all got thrown back out, right? And we learned even more about these characters, and especially, of course, the additional cast on top of it, all the side characters that we've also focused very much on. I really loved that about the show because, again, it made it character driven and it made it definitely surprising. You just didn't know what to expect. It wasn't just a game show and that was it. And that's once again here where we find this last episode very much connecting to that, I guess, is that the final confrontation between Gian and the classmate guy, that was basically the first 15 minutes of the episode. Yeah, and then that was resolved. And of course, it was very tragic the way it played out, and seeing him basically commit suicide in the end, right? And letting Gian win the games. But I just like afterwards how we see the implications of it, and I think everything is it feels so natural the way that his character would even deal with the situation. He's won all this money now, but he's not going to use it. And he still chooses to live a lifestyle. Basically, I mean, yeah, I don't know what he really was doing there in that year, but it seemed like he was just kind of roaming the streets, and that was literally it. Not using a single dime of what he actually had on his bank account for a very long time, right? And obviously his mom died, and that was very sad. I like how they, once again, how they kind of connected some of these things where he had the mom of the classmate take care of the little brother for the girl. That was really well done. The big twist where it seems like the old guy was actually our host and he was actually behind everything in a way. I totally hadn't seen it coming, but in retrospect, it still makes kind of a lot of sense. And I do kind of feel like this old guy, he seemed kind of too nice, almost, right? And that makes him now, in hindsight, kind of have something a little treacherous as well there, where I'm like, I should have maybe been able to notice that, but I don't know. Now this ending here, he just saw how somebody else was once again being used to get into these games. And he decides to basically go after him. And that makes me wonder that, like, okay, once we get to the season 2, what is the show going to be? Because it might end up being and I love that thought already, that the second season might end up being something very different from what this first season then was, right? Because that's the thing, like, the game show structure, that's great and all. But I feel like... really, for me, at the heart of this show were the characters and maybe like the organization and the intrigue behind it. Not necessarily just the games and that people got killed and this and that and fun, right? But again, I love how, I don't know how they're going to tackle it in the second season. Like, are we still going to follow a bunch of characters basically taking part in the games? Is our main guy still in some way going to be able to take part in these games himself? I don't think so. He's clearly just trying to go after them and trying to expose them, right, to the public, I guess. That would be his objective. And to get the... I don't know if the police would be any helpful here, but... Again, he's trying to bring them down. That's the best way to put it. But how is he in any way going to accomplish that is the big question. So, it's big shoes to fill, so to say. Like, I don't know how they're going to approach this. I'm not a very creative person myself, I guess, so I can't really even think of a way in which they would write this second season then, but like I'm very curious to see how they're going to do it, and I have high hopes. Like, just looking at how great this first season was, I definitely think that they'll do a fantastic job with the second season. There was one more, I don't know. I don't know if I should even really get into this, but I like doing so. Kind of the more philosophical topics that the show has already gotten into. I remember in the first episode, I kind of delved into that when it was about money, right? And the old guy was talking about how, what is the one thing that I guess very poor people and very rich people have in common? They both complain that everything is boring and no fun. Very relatable. I mean, for me personally, I don't know. This is one of these kinds of, this is the thing. I myself have really been delving into, economics and stuff in the past year and a half, I would say. Before that, I in no way was even bothering with that stuff. It seemed super boring. But then, I started learning about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and this and that, right? That's obviously a big hype, so I'm just naming that because people at least know about it. Just the economical field in general, and I myself have very much realized that one of the goals I would like to set for myself is actually to become kind of financially free, if that makes sense. And that's something I never used to have as a goal before. I never was really thinking about. But to me, I realized that becoming or having a lot of money, being rich, I guess, is not necessarily so much about, I mean, to some people it might be, but not to me. To some people it might be about buying a bunch of luxury products and big cars and having a big house and this and that, right? But to me, it's becoming flexible and literally becoming free in not having to necessarily work every day and not having to, I don't know. I mean, listen, financial stress is just a massive burden on people. That's clear, right? And we see it actually with a lot of characters here. And that just all in all results in very crappy situations. Of course, there's also, again, the old guy was definitely right. There's a bunch of very rich people, I guess, that are super rich, and then they just, I don't know. I don't know what they don't even know what to do that with their money anymore. And I guess Gian kind of became an example of that here in the end, where he had so much on his bank account. It's at that point, I mean, he didn't even want to use a single dime of it, but what do you even do at that point, right? When you have all that money that you can spend, that's the thing. That's not what my goal would be. My goal would be to be, financially stable enough to the point where you just know that you've got your usual cash flow that's necessary to pay your bills, if that makes sense, right? And you can achieve that by building a large portfolio and, investing in all kinds of things, right? So there's cryptocurrencies and there is stocks and all that stuff. Again, I don't even know if people find this talk interesting or something, but it's... Again, that's something I myself have definitely focused on because I don't like the stress that comes with, paying bills, for example, and stuff, right? And being dependent on working your job. And I think many people, because they are in such financial stress, they also choose jobs that are therefore not really fun to them, right? People just get put in these situations where they will have to do something because... how do I put this? I mean, because they got to pay the bills. And that's the thing. We all kind of get... I know for myself, for example, I myself got a software engineering degree and I studied very hard for that for 4 years. But I also started to... I mean, in the beginning, I kind of enjoyed it, but I started to realize more and more as I got into my last years there and was doing my internships, is this really something that I want to be doing for the next 40 years? Because that's the thing. That's how people kind of get taught to... they just kind of get taught to be good at one thing, right? That's the study you do. You get good in that particular field, and then you can be of great service in that particular field. But I think what I've figured out for myself is that stuff tends to get boring as we do more and more and more of it. I had that same struggle with my YouTube channel, funnily enough, which started off as a huge hobby, and I'm talking about my previous channel, which was more gaming related. And it was a huge hobby of mine and stuff, but I started feeling more and more drained, funnily enough, as time passed by, talking about the same topics over and over and over. And that's the thing, people, I feel, at least I do, and I think many people do, they need kind of variety, right? And they need to be able to make a switch. But being able to make a switch also means more risk is involved, because, you can just go from one high-paying field to the next or something because you haven't studied for it, right? This is kind of what I'm talking about. It's this is why I myself have kind of put a goal there for me to try building up a portfolio and to become financially independent, if that makes sense. And I think it's something that if you can kind of recognize what I'm saying or relate to it, I guess, then it's really something you should be looking into as well. A lot of people find out about this stuff when they become like 30, 40, 50 years old, and then it's already kind of too late. You know what I mean? And especially if you know about this stuff from a young age, can really help sort out for yourself like what path you want to be headed on. Because I think, you know, that's just what you see. A lot of people tend to kind of get stuck in life, right? And again, many characters here are showing similar things. And, you know, that's the thing. Like, life is one big struggle, really. I mean, it is, it's difficult, dude. That's just what it is. And I don't really know where I'm going with this, and I feel like I'm sort of starting to ramble here. So I just find the little lessons here that they give you in the show, or the topics that they delve into, I find them very fascinating because I relate to them a lot, because I've been thinking about those same things myself. Especially in the last year or so, year and a half. So nonetheless, this has been a fantastic show. Once again, I really, really enjoyed all these 9 episodes. The ride has been great, and I'm actually relieved. Yeah, I don't know. Normally, again, because I was kind of enjoying this so much, and I kind of saw it as its own standalone thing, I had the feeling that I wasn't going to necessarily be excited about a second season then, because it might have started to feel like they were going to milk it or something, or I don't know. But seeing the direction this is headed in, and the fact that the second season might actually be something very different from what the first one was, that makes me super excited. Because then I think like, okay, this could actually work. This could actually be great. And so, I'm excited as hell. But I feel like we might have to wait a little bit of time here before we will obviously get to the second season, seeing as the show is still relatively recent. At least this first season was. But let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Once again, I want to thank you all for joining me here on the ride. And again, it's been great. I really appreciate all your support. And then for now, that was basically it. So I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you hopefully very soon on my channel again.